Yeah, today's one of those days where I was like getting really flustered. And I had to remind myself, you know what? You need to step it up, man. You need to step up your resilience. You need to get more cool headed when things are getting frustrated. Frustrated or frustrating. Hesitating, never waiting. But when you're getting frustrated, dude, when you have like a million things like happening all at once, something falls apart, maybe your bank or something like that, your credit card, your car payment, your something happens, right? You're talking to customer service reps that don't really want to be at work and, you know, and you're just like on the phone all morning. You're like, I was on the phone this morning. I was on the phone from about 8:30. I finally got off the phone with people around 12 o'clock or 12:30 actually. And I'm saying to myself, wow, I spent the whole morning on the phone when I really wanted to get a lot of work done. So I said, I'm ticked off because I wasted my whole morning. But I had to remind myself this morning, this is why I want to record a video, because I actually had to remind myself, you got to keep a cool head, man. This is nothing. Like all this stuff that happened all at once, because things happen like that. Like bad stuff happens all at once. But if you have a good perspective, you can say, you know what? It could have been a lot worse. You know what I'm saying? Like bad things can get even worse than that. Just because I was dealing with a couple of different customer service reps that were not really doing their job right. And, you know, and I'm trying to work with them. I'm trying not to waste too much time, and something with the car payment, and then something with the bank. There was fraud on the bank account. So I had to do something about that. And then there was another call I had about, my payment didn't go through for an app that I have that I couldn't log in. And so it's just all morning just doing administrative tasks, stuff that I don't like to do. I want to be creative. I don't have time for administration. I need a personal assistant to do that. Anyway, all jokes aside, I mean, I had to remind myself, look, you know, I got to calm down, bro. This is really, I mean, so what? And, you know, on the bright side, actually, I got most of it taken care of. But this is like some reoccurring thing that happens where I get kind of ticked off and annoyed and frustrated, and I start getting verbally aggressive on the phone. But I had to just take a deep breath and say, you know what? Let me just handle this like a grown adult. Why am I getting, you know, aggressive on the phone? Let me just calm down. There's no need for that. Me being aggressive on the phone is not going to help it go faster, even though I might think it would. And depending on what type of aggressiveness I use, depending on the wording I use in my aggression, maybe it will go faster. But at the end of the day, man, why am I going to make somebody else nervous just so I can make them move a little bit faster or take my call a little bit more serious? You got to keep in mind, these people are sitting in a call center all day dealing with the same thing over and over again. I worked in a call center before. It's not fun, man. I worked in many call centers, actually. But I did customer service for AT&T. And those are disgruntled customers calling in because their service isn't working. They're having all kinds of charges on their bill that they have no idea how they got there. And we have to diffuse the situation and be calm and all that stuff. After a while, you're like, man, screw this job. I'm not going to sit here and get punched in the face all day on the phone. But anyway, it teaches you a lesson in how to like keep a cool head when people are getting flustered and all kinds of drama over the phone or just anything in life. So I had to remind myself, like, look, you need to build the resilience to not get so bent out of shape. And it's not like I was losing my damn mind, but I was feeling it. You know, I was like getting annoyed. So, you know, one of the things I do is of course, I go for a walk. Maybe I'll have a conversation with somebody. Maybe I'll, you know, just get myself out of that. But also at the same time, reminding myself that, you know what? dealing with stuff that you don't want to do, that is no fun to do, that you have to do, it's just part of it, man. It's just about building the resilience to do it. And every time you do things that you don't want to do, difficult things, because things like that, administrative stuff. Did I say thuff? Administrative stuff gets a little bit annoying. So I say, you know what? That's life, dude. It's life. So yeah, the resilience, the cool head, keeping a cool head. Sometimes if you're not used to keeping a cool head, and I'm talking to my younger self, because when I was younger, I had anger management problems. I had to go to anger management for the problems. Okay. Not proud to admit it on these videos, but it's true. So maybe it runs in the family. I don't know. But I mean, you got to remind yourself to not take things so serious. You almost got to pep talk yourself sometimes. Like, look, dude, this is not the biggest deal in the world. Just calm down, dude. Yeah, I got a flat tire last night. Somebody dented my car in the parking lot. I don't know what happened. The payment didn't go through. For the third time this quarter, I had fraud on my bank account, and they have to switch my debit card every single time. They have to give me a new one. So anything that's reoccurring payments on that debit card all gets canceled, and you have to go back and configure it. Oh, that's small stuff, like why would you get annoyed? Why would you get annoyed with this? This is not that bad. You could have got into a car accident last night and lost both of your legs and been paralyzed. A friend or a family member could have passed away from something. Things could be a lot worse. So that's where the automatic gratitude just kind of sinks in. It kind of just, boom, automatically your perspective gets changed. And I think it's really a skill to do that, to cultivate that type of perspective. Because a lot of people, they can't do it. When they get flustered, they get stuck in that negative frame, and then it lasts pretty much all damn day. And then they sacrifice their sanity, literally. I mean, like, you see people I drive around for work. I drive all over the place, and I see people getting into road rage every single day, almost. Pretty much almost. If I spend enough time on the road in a day, you're going to find somebody with some type of road rage. It's inevitable. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not totally innocent of it. I've done it, but I keep it in check because I know it's nonsense, dude. You get to a point where you learn, like, dude, whatever. Somebody cut me off. I had to slam on my brakes. It's going to happen, dude, especially when you're driving in more urban or city areas. This is the type of thing that happens. I mean, I've pulled out in front of somebody before and slammed on the gas to try to, speed up as fast as I could. And then you have some people that they'll pull out in front of you, and they won't go fast. They'll go slow. So you're like, but you got to understand that people are in a daze. They're foggy headed, and you got to watch out for that. That's just the way it is on the road, dude. Me complaining and getting into like anything with any of these people it doesn't make any sense, dude. Not only do you sacrifice your energy, your sanity, basically, for the rest of the day, but you also, you ruin your opportunities. I look at it like this. Every moment in life is another opportunity to do something. Another opportunity to make a great connection with another person. Another opportunity to maybe have a financial opportunity present itself. The opportunities are endless, and they all are determined by the choices you make every day. So if you're going to choose to be in a pissed off mood and not, like, if you can't like snap yourself out of that real quick, you're going to carry that into your next interaction. You're going to carry that into your next conversation. You're going to carry that And to the people you're around, the people that know you, they're going to see the look on your face that you're pissed off. They don't want to talk to you. You know, there's just this big cycle that you don't notice until you step outside of yourself and look at yourself from another perspective. You know, and I'm talking to the people that are kind of like me that have, you know, short patience with other human beings, because that type of thing, it doesn't get you anywhere. You can look at somebody who's always angry and in confrontations with people all the time and always cursing out people and fighting this and fighting that. They live in a constant state of fight or flight, and they never really improve their lives with anything. And oftentimes what happens is people like that have to mask the pain of living because their life is so miserable. And let's not sugarcoat it. It's a miserable way to live. You know, a lot of times you have to have a nightcap to go before you go to sleep when you live like that. You have to have various cups of coffee when you wake up in the morning because, you know, coffee's a wonderful drug to kind of numb out the pain. It does it. But, you know, the best energy and the best way to calm yourself doesn't come from any outside stimulus. The best energy doesn't come from coffee. The best way to calm yourself doesn't come from alcohol or any pills or drugs or anything like that. The best way to do it is to be able to do it on your own, to tap into the resources within your own mind to calm yourself. You know, some might call it internal medicine, but either way, I have 1 minute left. Really? This video is going to come to an end. I only have 1 minute left on this camera. Wow. Anyway, yeah, man, if you resonate with this kind of content, man, check out my other videos. Matter of fact, you know what? Don't even check out my other videos. But if you want to subscribe. Don't comment on the channel unless you really want to. Check out my book on Amazon called Speak Your Truth. And that is going to be it, folks. I hope you have a good one.